Hello, today I'm going to talk about the university video that I had been watching. The video is about marketing, both the main topic of the video, it was about business models. So a summary about the topic that I learned is that a business model is a method by which a company uses its resources, for example, cash, technology, and people, to offer its customer better value than its competitor and make money doing so. And in general, it tells who pays, how much, and how often. So a business model, it's something that really helps when a company wants to sell a new product or a new service. So they need to do a business model and not only think about the characteristics and the design of the product and the service, they also need to think about the target, about their customers, and try to add value to their products and the service, because in that way it is better that the customer buy the product or acquire the service. So now I'm going to explain some characteristics that the business model has. The first is value proposition. That is a description of the customer problem, the solution that addresses the problem, and the value of this solution from the customer's perspective, the price, speed, and design. So in this part, the company needs to think about what problem the customer has, and also think about the necessities that the customer has, because in that way it is better to think about the characteristics to add to the product or the service and try to solve those necessities or problems that the customer has. And the other is the market segment. That is the target audience, and recognize that different market segments have different needs. So in this one, it is like clarify who is the target or who is the customers. For example, if a company is designing a product or service for kids, it is important that they find a market that there are kids, so it is easier that the product or service could be acquired for them and not for other target. Because in those situations, I saw in the video that many companies have made that error, that they don't recognize very well their target. And that is like an error that many companies have made. The other is about the value chain structure. And this is a multiple stages of a product or services life cycle. So in this one, it's like everything about the stage of the product and service, from the creation until the end of the product. So it is the company's position in the value chain, the activities in the value chain, and how the company will capture part of the value that it creates in the chain. The other is position in the value network. In this one, the company identify of the competitors, also identify the complementary companies and technology, and identify network effects that can be utilized to deliver value to the customer. So in general is to identify first the competitors, because in that way it is better to like add a value to a product or a service and be better than the other companies that maybe could sell the same product or offer the same service. And the other characteristic is revenue generation and margins. In this one, it is more about the money, that how they can get money when they sell the product or offer the service. So they see how revenue is generated, for example, through sales, leasing, subscription, and other forms. Also the cost structure and the target profit margins. And the other characteristic is competitive strategy, and how will the company attempt to develop a sustainable competitive advantage, and how will it use that advantage to improve the competitive position in the market. And the last characteristic is about the stage of development. And in this one, it is like more seen in what stage the product or the service is. For example, it could be in gestation, in the pilot test, or growth, expansion, or if it could be a maturity product or service. So it's something that the company needs to identify where the product is on the field. And this is something that I liked about the video that the professor mentioned, that success is messy, and there's a lot of bumps, lots of failure and challenges, whether it be because of market acceptance, technology failure, or it happens just simple because the market was not ready for what you were doing. And the goal is to figure out throughout those bumps and those curves how to identify opportunity and how to modify your product and services. So that brings us to business models in general. And now I am going to explain what did I learn. So first, I remember that we learned this topic on class, the WH clauses as subjects and objects, and I could identify three examples of this. The first one is this sentence that says, what a different model that is totally mind-boggling. The second example is, well, so maybe what I can do here is find the clinicians that you are seeing about the fact that you are having trouble sleeping, and I can do what I did before. So we can see the WH clauses in this picture and in this picture. The other example is, and I have a guy on my business advisor board who will give me 10 reasons why every idea I have will fail and why every suggestion I make is dumb. And we can see the WH clauses in this picture and in the other picture. The other topic that I saw in the video, it was about the pronouns and preposition in relative clauses. It was to whom. And in this one is the business model of what is it we have and to whom should we have marketing it. And the other, it's the same topic, both using some of. So it says we have identified 100 of them, some of whom have as many as 100,000 followers. And the last topic, it's about tag questions. And here is the sentence. These guys are cool, aren't they? So through this activity, I could identify many grammar topics that I have learned. And also at the same time, I noticed that I had been improving my vocabulary because it's something that helped me a lot to learn new words. So it is a useful activity. Thank you for your attention.